So I've completed several degrees and qualifications and made my way through some of the biggest banks and tech firms out there, but I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And today, for those in the early stages of their careers, I'm going to be sharing some brutal truths I wish someone had told me when I first started working and how to overcome them. So fresh from uni and into my banking grad job, I thought no one is going to be able to do what I do because from thousands of applicants, they hired me and only me. But the truth is, everyone is replaceable. This is something you'll see for yourself after a few months of working as you see your colleagues move on to other jobs. No matter how much people like them or how great they were at the jobs, life goes on. Nothing stops for no one. My advice is, whilst the fact remains true that everyone is replaceable, be someone people will fight for. That means make sure you've got the right skills and that they're not ones which are out of date. Create a valuable network where you're an active part of it and not just something you utilize when you need them, and develop the attitude that you will be fine whatever happens because you know people will want you wherever you go. So this one is about having to be selfish, but also focusing on what really counts when it comes to your job. You see, it doesn't matter about the hours you put in if your work doesn't matter to the business. So always ask, why am I doing this? And does it add value? It doesn't matter if you think you deserve a promotion. People need to feel like they have to give you a promotion. So are you putting it into people's heads that this is what you want? Both of these really comes down to ensuring that you get feedback from work. So it did take me a while to grasp this one, but this next stage of life is different to what you've been used to. Previously, at the beginning of the year, you were presented with a nice syllabus. You followed this throughout the year. Then at the end, you had exams. And to help you, there were past papers and marking criteria to guide your revision. And that's generally how you succeeded at school. But none of that exists anymore. Those that succeed in the workplace are the ones that move on the quickest from this schooling framework. No one will give you feedback or guide you unless you ask for it. So this is especially for those that are lucky enough to get the dream job straight away. Perhaps you had some idea of how you're going to be going in and making a difference, but don't expect every day of work to be amazing. The everyday working life is dull, and soon when you get asked by your friends, how's work going? You'll just reply, work is work. What we see in 30-minute TV shows or 2-hour movies is not how your life will be.
You'll be ferocious. You'll be relentless.
And you have to come to terms with this, because if you keep looking for work to be an adventure every single day, you will be disappointed. Now, work isn't supposed to be soul destroying. You should enjoy the big picture of what you're doing, enjoy working with the people around you, and look forward to making an impact at your firm. But it's important to know you have to crawl before you can walk. You'll see so many exciting projects and tasks, but if you don't understand the basics, you're unlikely to ever get involved in them. Everyone at work has gone through the same tasks that you'll be doing when you first begin, including your MD. So get those boring bits of your work nailed down. Get people to trust that you can do the non-exciting work to a high level. The quicker you can do this, the sooner that you'll get pulled in to more exciting tasks. A bit of a break here. And if you're watching this and entering your first job, or maybe that you're still at university doing interviews, go ahead and sign up to the upcoming newsletter where I'll be sharing free interview guides, exclusive interviews with industry leaders, and what it's really like to work in the world's biggest firms and who they're looking to hire. So if you want to get ahead of the competition, then drop your email down below to join the waitlist. I've always advised people that hard skills get you the job, but it's soft skills that will get you promoted. It's important to note that you have to have a basic level of hard skills in every job, whether that's coding, statistical analysis, or financial statement knowledge, but soft skills are going to advance your career. People often get bogged down in becoming more specialized in certain areas, but forget to develop their communication skills, negotiating ability, and more importantly, their emotional intelligence. It's these latter skills which get people on your side, make people want to involve you in tasks, and lets people trust you. Your soft skills are what's going to pull you up that career ladder and get you into those important meetings. So on my first day at my investment bank, I was told your network is your net worth. I just thought this was some corporate buzzword and didn't really pay attention to it. But as I actually progressed in my career, I realized without your network, you're not worth anything. It's possible to be a lone warrior, but having a network opens doors and introduces new connections, which ultimately get you to places that you want to go 10 times quicker. Understandably, as someone new in the workplace, it can be quite intimidating talking to senior people. I've already made a whole video on how to network and what to say when you go to these networking events, which I'll leave above me. But networking also means developing good relationships with fellow grads and other people at your level. In a few years, hopefully you and these other people will become decision makers, meaning if they're already part of your network, you can leverage them to open doors for you in the future. So when it comes to networking, don't just go right to the top. Start with a strong base, which are your fellow grads. There is no more hand-holding, and gone are the days where work and holidays were dictated to you by your school or university. Your career is up to you, and that means you have to know what work is required from you. You have to find out who the important people are, and you also have to plan your own holidays throughout the year to manage your work-life balance. You might think just because you have a manager, everything will be taken care of. It's actually the complete opposite. Your manager will only push for you when you indicate that you want to be pushed. Whatever you want, you have to communicate it to your manager. Now, if they're a good one, they'll keep a lookout for opportunities that align with your career. But at the end of the day, it comes down to this being your career. And so it's your responsibility to develop it however you see fit. So this is an increasingly important point to remain aware of. With the rise in work being offshore to low-cost locations, it's become super important to bring valuable skills if you want your job to remain in a high-cost location such as London, New York, or other major cities. I've seen entire teams disappear overnight because the company felt that their job didn't warrant them to be in these high-cost locations and rather could be done somewhere cheaper and pay the local employees a lower wage for the same level of work. This means you need to want to grow both professionally and personally, and this means to be okay with discomfort. You see, to grow, you'll have to generally give up something you enjoy. This could be money for professional qualifications, your leisure time to study, or your mental energy on taking up more challenging projects at work. Be comfortable with growing and embracing the discomfort that comes with it, because those first few years might seem like they're not important, but if you ask any 30 or 40-year-old who isn't where they want to be in their life, they'll tell you that they wish they could relive their 20s and have embraced the temporary discomfort for the eventual long-term gain. Now, one job where the payoff can be enormous, I'm talking about earning $250,000 in your first few years of work, is private equity, but you'll have to nail down all 7 points I mentioned in this video to even enter the industry. If you think you can do that and you're interested in finding out more about private equity, I've already made a video on introducing that industry, which I'll leave next to me. So go check that out, and I'll see you all in the next video.